Hello, guys, and welcome back to Space Engineers episode 36. Still on Mars. That's where I'm going to be hanging out for a while. Got the solar panels up, and I just learned that Mars can have wind turbines. I didn't know that. So I placed a wind turbine down here just to see if it would work because there's an atmosphere, and what do you know, they do. So I added some wind turbines onto this little tower here. I added 16 more solar panels to the solar tracker, and I broke a landing gear on the mothership. I had to bring the mothership up so that it can finish welding the solar panels on top, and I came down a little bit too hard and broke a landing gear, but that's fine because I have another one. So not too big of a deal. You can see the hole that it left right there. I'm surprised that hasn't been picked up. So not a whole lot has been done inside of this little outpost, I guess you can call it. I have a little bit of lag every time I spin around sometimes. But the solar panels are working pretty well. The wind turbines are working pretty well. Current input is 485 kilowatts on this battery, and then I added 4 azimuth batteries here, and their current input is 1.46 megawatts each off of the solar panels and wind turbines, fully recharged in 5 hours. It's going to take a while for them to be charged up, but it is free power, no uranium necessary, which is nice. So one thing I want to do, I still have the mothership here to build for me with all of my components and stuff like that inside. We'll turn our HUD on. The mining ship is just gonna keep sitting here, at least for a little while until I need it or until I bring in my new mining ship. But that's gonna be a little bit. What I want to do is start digging downward because a majority of my base I do want to be underground. Similar to the moon, except this time I will have the drill and fill system to work for me. Lag spike. So I'm going to need to find the kind of sort of center. I don't remember how wide these are. I think it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. So there's 6 wide, which is a little bit annoying. 1, 2, 3. So I think, let me just take out this block, and that is 2. So right here, and right here, and here, and that is the center, I think. Yep. Alright, so this is the center of this little outpost thing here. Now I need to figure out how I'm going to do the drill and fill system. I'm going to use 1 because that's definitely all I need. Get rid of the wind turbine. So maybe if I do... Oh, let's see. So I can do offsets and stuff like that. So if I put this guy... Come on, flip for me. There you go. Honestly, we could probably put it right here. We'll just have to do a little bit of offset, which isn't too big of a deal. So let him get welded up. And then we can do... let's say... Probably put like a control seat or something. Control station. Put you probably right there. And that way I can kind of control how that thing drills. But then I need to put the material somewhere. You can probably just go into the drill for now. There we go. Let's see, drill system. We'll do a show area. Oh, this one's a little bit different. There we go. Oh, yes. Yeah, that's way too big. Way too big. Okay, that's not too bad. And these will drill like stone and whatnot, so they're not going to take the base out. So we'll do that. We'll do that for now. And then we can try to turn it on. Drill mode. Conveyor system on, yada yada. Let's turn it on and see. Oh, goodness. It's doing stuff and things. Hopefully only within this little area that I made. Yep. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to let it drill this area out and we'll see how it looks when it's done. So it turns out the first layer is ice. So I'm going to let it keep drilling that out. I added some tubes and a couple of large cargo containers over here just because I realized that it was ice. So I want to keep the ice, obviously, and let it go into the system. They're attached to the base. And then, so it's digging out this area. Looks kind of funky, but it's within where I want it to be, which is nice. So I'm gonna let this guy keep drilling, and it's gonna take quite a while. And I'll take a look at our power. Still recharging, so that's good as well. I'm gonna let this guy keep drilling, and eventually it'll dig down as deep as it can, and then I can offset it even more. So that'll be nice. A lot of the digging is already done, and some other updates have been made. Like right now, I'm sitting in front of a window. Ta-da! I added windows all the way around on this little outpost sort of base thing that I built. So it should be airtight for the most part. I'll recharge a little bit. Another thing that I added, I don't have any air vents or anything, but I want to get into the habit of keeping these doors closed. I added a second tower here, aside from the solar tower, and this one is oxygen farms. So there's a little solar tracking thing for oxygen farms as well. I'm trying it out, seeing how it works. It seems to work pretty well. It is very slow. I've got, what, 8, 12, 14? How many is that? 8, 14 oxygen farms, and they're pretty slow. I'm only at 791 liters, so 0.8% filled on both of my oxygen tanks. And I put these in a little while ago. They each bring in about 1.8 liters per minute. So they're slow, but they do work. As of right now, they work really well for recharging my oxygen on my person, which is nice. Then I come here, recharge oxygen. Hydrogen I do not have sorted out for the outpost yet. And this is all temporary. That tower is temporary. The solar tower is temporary. It's all temporary just to get things up and running on Mars for the most part. These containers are also temporary from when I was drilling downward. So we'll get to that now. I got these super cool stairs built. Some more windows, so it's completely airtight down the shaft that I drilled out. So it's the first flight. Second flight of stairs, same thing. I got some windows, and I added some half-long slope block type things for beams and put some lights in. There's 4 lights for this entire part underground, and they're plenty bright, that's for sure. I also have kind of like a angled metal beam that I put in, which I can also walk up, so it's not, I don't know. It looks cool, I think. Adds a little more to what I normally build. I don't know, it looks better. So same thing, windows, I go looking down, go down another flight of stairs, and then the same thing, more windows in the center as well, and there, so you can still look down, still can't see the bottom. Same thing, got the armored slope thing, and then right here I just put another drill in to, this is the bottom of this level at least, and I put this drill in to kind of start drilling out this area, and I kind of screwed up at first. I forgot to like change the dimension, so it kind of just went down. So I changed it here, and I got to move it over again. I've just been kind of moving it one piece at a time, so that side's done. Now I need to move it again, and I've just been, hopefully I can click it, the horizontal offset. So if I go to 10 now, it'll bring it back a little bit and hopefully start clearing this little bump out, maybe. There we go. Try to get this little berm taken out because I want to be able to place blocks, say like here, and be able to kind of be partly, like halfway is pretty much perfect. So halfway, this will be the floor, I'll put a floor in, and then this is going to be like the storage room. So I'm going to put a bunch of large cargo containers. This one is also temporary, just for drilling purposes. So now I can move it back even more. Let's do 5. I've just been doing increments of 5. So we'll get this little berm taken out, and then the same thing, I'll move it over to 0, and it should hopefully take out the rest of the berm, and then we'll have a nice flat area here. Let's see. And then I'm going to keep going that way, keep digging that way. This is going to, hopefully my plan is to double stack large cargo containers. It's probably not going to happen. Maybe. I'm thinking about like adding the floor, right? And having the cargo containers underneath, or the cargo containers with the catwalks on top of it so you can kind of see down. That would probably be pretty cool. So I think I'll bring this guy back 5 again to kind of get that finished up. So 0. That'll finish that out. I think I might actually bring this down. So dig down a little bit and put all the cargo containers on the bottom, and then on top I can have maybe refineries. I don't know. I don't want to dig too much up because I do want the base to basically be underground, and if I dig up much more, then it's not really going to be underground anymore. So it's kind of tricky. I don't know. I probably don't have to double stack the containers, but I do want to. So I'll probably come down a little bit. Let's try this out. So I'll turn the drill off so I don't actually drill anything. And if I bring it down, what are we at right now? Vertical offset 2.5. Forward offset's fine the way it is. Height, width, depth 10. So vertical offset, if I bring it down to say 10.5 maybe? 10.5. And I can't even see it anymore. Oh, that's up, okay. So maybe if I do negative, let's do negative 6.5. We'll try negative 6.5, see where that leaves us. So negative 6.5. That puts it just under. All right, let's try that. And I'll see if it gives me a nice flat floor, kind of like this. We'll see. I'm gonna let this run. I'm gonna let it dig out, and we'll see how it looks when I get back. All right, so I've got this thing pretty much fine-tuned. I added a couple of double doors here, and it's gonna be a 2 thick wall, so it'll be 2 light armor blocks thick. You can see it right there, nice and thick. I added this refinery to kind of speed things up a little bit with all the stone that I'm gathering. I changed, instead of just doing a sweep and then a sweep above, I made it to where it will sweep this whole area. So the height I increased a little bit. So it's clearing this part out. Taking all this out right here. I'm going to put the large cargo containers in a 3x3 area here. So 1, 2, 3, and 3. This block is going to go away, or it might stay. I'm not sure. No, I think I'm going to get rid of it, and then I'm going to have catwalks above the large cargos. So I can honestly start putting some of the cargo containers in, hopefully. I'll take the place of that door. Let me take this guy out. So I think something like, if I put them, so here, there, and there. So there's 3 of them. And then I'll do the same thing so that they're connected. Another 3 right here. Those will get welded up. And then I will be able to put catwalks on top of these. So there's 6 large cargos already. And then I can catwalk over them so I'm not stumbling. And I'm going to recharge my energy. It's still digging right now as well. I want to dig out quite a large area. And then I'm going to be digging it even deeper than it is. Whoops. So right now, it's pretty much deep enough for 3. But I want to bring it even further and try to fit probably about 5 large cargos. So I'll have 10 of them in 2 rows, and then I can do another row of 5 when I need to. But as far as the catwalks, I want to use the graded catwalks because this room is not going to be pressurized. So we can do something like this. So kind of like that. So that all the cargo containers are underneath these graded guys. Hopefully it doesn't create performance issues. I notice it looks kind of weird because it's graded, but hopefully it's okay. And then I'll have them all covered by the graded catwalks. And then that way I'll be able to have other stuff going on up above the storage, because I plan on having a probably Issy's inventory manager. I want to learn more about it, but I'll probably be using that for this base. This refinery and this cargo container are going to go away, and all the storage will be below. And why is it not? Alright, so let me move it over because it's not digging. I'll move this guy over another, so 25. let it dig out that further area. So yeah, I'm gonna let this keep digging, let it finish that part, and then I'm going to figure out how to extend it further that way. So we got 6 cargoes. Yeah, I want to have room for 5 on each row, and then all the catwalks above. So the little oxygen farm tower thing that I made wasn't working quite well because it can pressurize the room. So I added an H2O2 generator here because I got quite a bit of ice when I was digging the hole underneath us. So I'm going to use that ice for hydrogen and oxygen. So I added 3 vents here. Good pressurization, even with this door open, because all of in here is pressurized. And that drill that was here before, I kind of moved it, got rid of it, mostly moved it. So right here, open this door, close it, keep it nice and tight. Open this one, we lose our pressure, that's fine. So I moved the drill to the front of the refinery right here to keep doing its digging. Keep digging out this area, and that's what it's doing. So I changed out the catwalks. I don't know, I didn't really like the graded ones, just because they don't hold pressure, and if I ever want this room that I'm in to be pressurized, then I'm going to want to use the vanilla catwalks. So that's what I'm doing. And once this drill is done, I'm leaving the area on because it's helping me. But once this drill is done and I get this room the size that I want, then this refinery, this large cargo, it's all going to go away. And then I'll start utilizing the large cargo containers below the catwalks. That's the plan for now. I want this base to look good. That's my main priority. So I'm going to keep that closed. We'll open this and close it. High and warm. Very nice. Pressurized. So this is like, it's not the bottom level, but it's going to be the level where storage is over here, and we start kind of making tunnels around, and then this deep tunnel here is actually gonna end up turning into, hopefully, and I've never seen this done, but I want to build some sort of piston elevator. So let's go upstairs real quick so I can explain it a little bit better. So up here, this is all temporary. It'll probably end up getting taken out for something a little bit different. But, so there's a hole right below us. I'll go ahead and just rip you. And, yep. So our pressure is gone. That's fine. I don't know, actually this is a very good point. If you lose pressure, does it continue? No, it doesn't. Okay, so it doesn't keep, these don't try to keep pressurizing the room, even though you literally can't because there's a freaking huge hole in the ground. But anyways, we'll hop down here where you can see this a little bit better. This is like the stairs and everything. And I kind of want to put like some sort of elevator in here. But it's going to be a bit of an interesting elevator. It'll be kind of like rovers, like wheeled vehicles. I want to be able to like roll them in and then have them drop pretty far. And the way that I'm thinking about doing this, and I don't want to build it because it'll end up getting built completely, but I'm just gonna put a piston. Just say, let's see, how did I plan on doing this? Okay, so kind of like a dual piston setup. So say the first set of pistons are pulling, so towards the top, you know, I'd have like 8 pistons or so that will push down or pull up, and then another set of pistons would be kind of connected to it, except these ones would push up and pull down. So I would have like a, say, 8 by 12 platform up above, you know, so like 8 blocks wide, 12 blocks long sort of platform. So like pretend this floor here kind of just like started coming down. So you would have the pistons that push up to bring the platform up would start coming down, and then there would be a set of pistons, say that little row of light armor blocks there was pistons that push down. So if they're tucked all the way up, and then I would have some pistons that push up the platform the rest of the way, those pistons that are pushed up would sink, come down halfway or so, and then another set of pistons would keep pushing down to bring the platform down. So kind of make like an elevator that can bring wheeled vehicles up and down, even flying vehicles. If there's a connector attached but without conveyors, it's just a connector, then same sort of concept. That's the plan. I'm still kind of figuring it out. It's not going to be this building, obviously. It'll be more of something that's just like flat on the ground. You roll onto it and then it drops. That sort of thing. I feel like that would be cool. Maybe not quite practical, but I feel like it would be interesting to do. So I want to start playing with rotors and pistons a little bit more. But first I need to get this base set up. It's pressurizing. That's kind of the plan. I'm still working on it, thinking about it in my head. But I do want the base to look pretty. Kind of like right here, the windows looks kind of cool. So eventually this area is going to be where the elevator will be. The building above will change. And eventually it'll be kind of like, you can see the elevator going up and down from here. And then this area where the cargo containers are is going to be pretty much, that's where the storage is going to be. So there's going to be conveyor tubes all over the place at some point, and just connecting the base up. But I want to keep it underground because I don't know, I think being underground is pretty cool, and the drill and fill system works really well for clearing out an underground area. So this is going to finish doing what it's doing here, and then I'm going to move it over even more and just dig, and then we'll have all the storage that we can possibly need. So that's the plan right now. I'm still kind of thinking about it. I'm trying to come up with these cool ideas. If you guys have any cool ideas for me to build into the base, let me know. Everything up above is temporary, and everything down here is kind of what I'm working on. It almost looks like a nuclear base. It's got like the entrance that goes deep down below, and then you have a very simple sort of outpost thing. Like, you can't even tell that there's all that crazy stuff happening below. And yeah, these are definitely temporary. The wind turbines, the solar panels, it's all temporary. The oxygen farms aren't performing very well. They don't make as much oxygen as I would like, so I'm going to continue doing the ice thing. The solar panels I do like. I'm going to make a much bigger solar array at some point that kind of stretches out a little bit further away from the base, probably like over there, but it's all still connected. And then this thing, yeah, this thing's temporary. I'm kind of just fooling around. It's pretty cool having the glass though. So that's going to do it for this episode, guys. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for the next one. If you have any ideas whatsoever, let me know, and hopefully I can implement them before episode 37. Later, guys.